Hey, this is Baden.
This is Tom.
We're Ocean Alley, and you're listening to The Leake in Review.
Review? The Leake in Review.
Let's go again.
All right, we'll go
The Leake in Review.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shed of dreams, the Leak in Review.
Welcome back to the program. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the reviews. We're climbing the charts. It's going up and up and up every single episode, and it's all because of you and all the listens, all the shares, all the feedback. Totally appreciate it. My name is Leake. This is the Leak in Review. Ocean Alley are on today's program. We'll check in with the band who really started gaining momentum just prior to COVID. And then, like a lot of bands, boom, COVID happens. Kind of story goes on pause. And a pause that was like really difficult for a lot of people to get the rhythm back up and running again. Ocean Alley, though, they were kind of already in this mode of we're just going to hit the road and not stop. Some great stories from the band, especially when they talk about the early days of heading out on the road with maybe not enough of a budget planning session prior to booking the flights and setting up the itinerary. That to come. Some quick news for you. Madonna is releasing a long-rumored remix album, Veronica Electronica. Fans have been speculating for this thing for about 25 years. It's supposed to be like the rail light era for Madonna. So that apparently is on the way. With Oasis touring, big bands playing 80,000 people generates a lot of money in the local economy. With the money that has been generated in Manchester, apparently $250,000 will be invested into local grassroots music venues, thanks to a partnership with the Manchester City Council. So that's good. And you may have caught this one. JP Saxe, who, like some people, like a lot of people, like a lot of bands, really kind of went viral right around COVID. And he had a big appeal to his fans just this week, as he's got the upcoming Make Yourself at Home tour. He went online. He said, if we don't sell 20,000 tickets in the next 48 hours, we're going to have to cancel the entire tour. There's been a lot of pushback. Then there's been a lot of commentary saying, yeah, I think we can do this. He said that on the last tour that he did, which was completely sold out, it cost him over $200,000. Like, he was out of pocket and that money is gone for good. So he didn't make a dime. So I guess the question we have to ask is, who's booking the shows? Who's providing the guarantees? What is really going on? Is he just suffering because he's middle tier, or is someone saying you're worth more than you are? Booking agent is United Talent Agency. Drop your thoughts. Give us a shout out at The Leak on all the socials.
Where there's a heartbeat and a stage, there's an artist set to perform. This is The Leak in Review on tour.
Brought to you by the Pecan Agency, connecting bands with fans worldwide. Catch Ocean Alley on tour this fall, October 3rd. House of Blues in Houston, Texas. On the 6th, they're at House of Blues, New Orleans. Brooklyn Bowl, Nashville, Tennessee on October 8th, and more dates will follow. Ocean Alley is going to be joining us on The Leak in Review right after this.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
Hey, this is Baden.
This is Tom.
And you're listening to Ocean Alley on The Leak
in Review. Sweet.
I don't know if you guys know this, but it's been 13 months since you were last in this very same building.
Yeah.
Yes, I did know that.
Did you know it on the schedule, or did you just know and be like, hey, I think we've been here before? Because as world travelers like you are right now, it's a lot of days of waking up going, where the hell are we now?
Yeah, I didn't really realize until today.
Yeah, I don't think we really take much note of the venues and sort of the spots until it's kind of like upon us, because it's quite overwhelming to try and think too far ahead in the future.
Well, yeah, you can't skip past 5 dates on the tour just because you're excited for Grant Park in Chicago.
No, exactly.
You've got some other focus points like an international border somewhere in between that needs focus. What is it when the band goes on tour? And I know you guys have been out on the road this time around for the last couple weeks. What is it that the band is very good at in the first couple weeks? And what is it that the band Ocean Alley is bad at in the first couple weeks? Because I think of it like this. When you go on an all-inclusive vacation with your buddies, most people blow their brains out the first couple days, and then they're struggling the rest of the week.
That's kind of how it goes. It's like very high intensity the first week, and we kind of pedal to the metal just across the board with the shows and, late nights and just having as much fun as possible. And then the brain starts to deteriorate, the energy, and you kind of go into like autopilot. Hey,
yeah,
it's just like, where are we? What are we doing?
It's funny because I know you do a lot of rehearsals before you go out on tour, but you don't rehearse the after party. You don't rehearse the bus ride. You don't rehearse any of that stuff. And that's the crushing part. The stage.
Yeah.
You've done that for 15 years now. You know exactly what's going to happen there, but it's the parts in between, right?
Yeah. It's the parts where you wake up and you go, why did I do that? Or why did we have to go through like the bus rides and the border crossings, especially at like 3 a.m, 4 a.m, where you have to wake up,
It's the
hand over your passport.
I don't understand why every bus tour does that. There has to be some sort of reason. You guys are in a band, but it is that way. You hop on a bus, you get 2 hours worth of sleep. You're in that good REM. Yeah. And then all of a sudden there's a knock at the door going, where's your passport?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think the border crossing that we just recently had coming into Canada, some of the boys may have just hopped into their bunks maybe an hour before the border crossing at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. And they looked very interesting handing their passports over to the,
still smoldering like a campfire log.
Yeah. Still sizzling.
There's new music from Ocean Alley and it's coming. You've got released a couple singles, Love Balloon, the full album coming out in September, but you just got off tour, I would say in September. And now you guys had to race right into the studio, or did you just find some sort of like clubhouse to hang out in so you could write together like it was the olden days to get songs together?
Yeah, we sort of did. Sort of, not really like the old days though. We sort of did it at, where'd we do it at?
Wait, you're saying because property. it was shinier?
Yeah. Less grimy.
We have a place that we own now that we can rehearse and write music together, and we kind of sort of spent a few weeks in there doing that and jumping between there and the studio with the producer we worked with on this record, Nick Didia. And yeah, we were just back and forth, and we kind of knocked this one on the head, and then now we're on the road, so it's feeling good.
Is there any writing on the road? And if there is, I'm guessing it happens when you're on stage, just jamming out, doing a sound check.
I don't think that we've ever written a song on the road, but we have come up with parts like, on the bus or whatever, maybe in a car park when the bus is parked on an off day. But it's not often because now our gear travels in trucks and
I saw that big shiny truck out there.
Yeah. So we don't have access to our instruments until sound check. So unless we're doing it at that particular time, which we normally don't really give a shit about that at sound check, we kind of have to think about the show. It's kind of hard to just like have an idea and go, oh, where's that guitar? It's like, oh, it's on the truck, like in another
And
city.
there's not enough room on the bus, really.
Yeah,
Well-
Literally not enough room. Like,
I blame the band for that.
yeah.
You do have a few members in Ocean Alley, so there
Yeah.
could be something to do with that.
And crew, like I think there's 50, well, at one point there was 15 of us on the bus, which is
Standing room only.
pretty much unless you're lying down. Which
Our manager was like on the couch of the front lounge this
Yeah.
tour. He stopped in for a few nights. He flew into New York from Australia, and there wasn't literally not another bed on the bus for him. So he was on the front lounge, and he had to kind of sit there and wait for everyone to finish their last beers before he could go to bed.
or
Or
he was allowed to sleep.
yeah,
And that front lounge couch might be 4 feet long. It's not the length of a human on the average height.
Yeah,
Correct.
you're doing well to get to fit on that thing.
So you're back out on the road. There's a bunch of dates that you have that will carry you right through the album release. Why is it that you start on the road with, we'll say, a 15-hour commute to your first show? I know it's that you're on an island and you're exploring new territory, but you would think that you would make it a little bit easier on yourself. Or do you just kind of look at the calendar and the agent goes, "It's the way it's going to work," and you go,
Do you mean
Cool.
like just
Like-
in one go? Or
Yeah,
like we
'cause
don't
you guys-
stop halfway or something?
you guys did a big jump to start off this tour. You started off on the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
well, yeah, we
Yeah.
actually
It's a good question.
did rehearsals in Nashville
yeah.
and then played the first show in Tampa. And we were meant to fly there, and one of the guys put his passport on the truck, and so he couldn't get on the flight. And then
So you had to drive.
he had to hire a car and drive from Nashville to Tampa whilst we flew and had a night off there and
Yeah.
went out and had a few beers and enjoyed the city. And he spent the night in the car with with the tour manager driving.
But there was all sorts of
12
stitch
hours.
ups before that. We ended up getting 4 flights instead of what? Like 2?
Well, instead of maybe even a direct, it's Nashville. There's enough planes
Yeah.
coming in and out.
Yeah,
of
we
there.
flew into Orlando.
Flew into
No, we flew
Atlanta, then Orlando?
No, we flew into Houston or
Houston.
Dallas. Dallas. We flew into Dallas.
Yeah.
That's
We
going-
flew into Dallas, and then we were meant to fly directly from there to Nashville. Oh, and then it was like a bunch of flights
but
were
then we had to go
cancelled.
to
and-
Houston. Then, I don't know. It was,
It sounds
It was a
to
long-
me.
it was a long
seems,
time.
seems like a blur now.
yeah.
So the same people who book your dates on the road are also booking your flight itineraries going by this. So we're going to have some conversations with agents and managers.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're testing us.
But, I think the band is in good mood and is in a good mood. You must
Yeah.
have had Italian yesterday. I did hear about that. You went to Troni.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
it
Yeah,
was
it was amazing. It was such a good feed.
Did anyone
Compliments
have
to the chef.
Did anyone have the bolognese?
I did. Yeah.
You can't go wrong,
It
right?
was so good.
You can't.
Yeah.
I think there was out of 12 of us, there was like 8
yeah.
bolognese. So
This is the way to go because you're not opening up a can of it at home.
No.
You know? Have a world-class guy who's
Yeah.
doing it. This touring that you're doing now, I mean, you've become a band that is so, I would say, road savvy. Like, when did the band know, did Ocean Alley say, I think we're going to make a real go of this and we're going to tour our asses off? Because someone had to say that to you in an effort for you guys to make it as a group, I'm guessing.
I think like from day dot, we've been a DIY band. We're still independent. So we've kind of been in charge of how hard we want to work. And we've started out, when we had day jobs, driving up and down the east coast of Australia, sleeping on the side of the road because we had no money to get to a show that paid us $200, which didn't even cover the fuel. But we just wanted to do it. And we'd have like so much fun just sort of battling it out, being just battlers really, like
yeah. Aussie battlers.
and because we kind of started the journey that way, I think it's become more comfortable. Now we're on a tour bus and, we've got a team behind us that set our gear up and trucks that drive these things. It seems less chaotic, but also the same sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like we're happy to go out there and just tour and have fun and enjoy ourselves like we've always done. There's just like a few more luxuries these days, I guess, compared to sort of sleeping in
Definitely
bathtubs.
does get easier.
Yeah.
I was actually speaking to Nate, our guitar tech, yesterday, who he drove us around on our first tour, which was just like 6 weeks in a Sprinter van with like 8 of us in there.
Yeah, we slept sitting up the entire month.
Right. Like probably just enough space for you guys to sit.
We would fight over the little gap that's between the back seats and the sliding door. There was like enough room just to fit like one hungover person, and we would like fight over that spot. We called it the well.
The well, yeah.
And it was like whoever was the most hungover or needed the rest the most for the show would get the stinky like spot on the floor.
It's just like jumpers and whatever you could find that was soft and just make a little bed there.
But that also, when you've seen, you know, your friends that are out on the road and they've got the same Sprinter or maybe a van, that well where you guys were laying down in is traditionally the garbage pit.
It was also the garbage pit.
Yeah. That kind of helped build up the bed though to a
Once
level.
there was enough cans and like shit on the floor, then you'd put the jumpers on top of that and it would kind of like mold to your body. And I mean, you know.
Couldn't get away with it now. My back would be broken, but.
We were a bit younger, a little bit more like limber.
Who cares? Yeah.
I think it's good though to become a little bit more pretentious.
Oh yeah.
Also to have some stiffness in the neck and things like that, because otherwise this band of brothers that you really are, you would all be arrested probably most nights otherwise. So it's keeping you out of trouble.
Yeah, I think so. I think, and you know, we getting older now. It's like sort of you hit 30 or whatever and the hangovers get extremely more difficult to deal with, and you know your back hurts and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You slow down a little
Things
bit.
don't repair like they used to. Yeah.
And so I think that's just like, you know, our body's protecting us from getting into it and any more trouble than we can get ourselves into.
And we take it more seriously now.
For sure.
So that's the first.
Right, because you don't have the backup of that job.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we're fucked. Now we have to make this work.
You know, you can't just call up those old jobs that you had. Now that you're making money doing it, there's all these responsibilities. Everyone's moved out and on their own. They've figured out their own arrangements, and that all has to be paid for. That all has to be covered. But it probably puts more focus, and it makes it maybe a little bit easier when you guys do go to the studio and you're into your private space. It's like, we're here to work. As opposed to that old garage that you had.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
That garage that probably has been burnt down since you guys.
I believe it's still standing. It's just like
still there.
Yeah. One of the Nick who plays bass, his dad would have just filled it with all of his trinkets and
belongings.
Trinkets.
Plus, we have a lot more people coming to shows now, so you don't want to let them down. Like,
right?
Well, over the years, anyway.
There's and then there's the guest list people too that are saying, "Hey, hometown gigs." You know, that went from 20 people to first. I'm guessing the first hometown gig that you ever did, it was please everyone come, it's free.
Oh yeah,
you know, let's get 75 people, and now it's like, God damn it, there's 75 people who want to come.
Yeah,
how are we going to get all these friends and family in? You've got Lollapalooza coming up. I'm guessing that's your first time at Lollapalooza.
Yeah, it'll be our first North American festival. So
great catering.
Okay, cool.
Chances are it will rain because you're right on the lake. So get ready for that. Just stay in the bus, hunker down. But I think the nice thing about a festival, maybe for you guys, you get to see other bands where you don't get to see other bands months on end when you're on the road.
Yeah, no, that's right. We, you know, we're out having, you know, doing our own shows and stuff. So on the weekends when there are other acts playing in cities that we're playing at the same time as them. So, you know, as you said, we don't get to see that, and we're all big music fans, so it'd be pretty cool to watch all the other really cool acts playing at Lolla this year and
hang in the artist area.
Yeah, and even just mingle and
friends.
Meet some of the some of the people that, you know, probably inspire us a bit, and
And then you get did the management at least schedule off a little bit of time so you can be in that artist area and do that chill?
Yeah, I think we've got some more interviews and stuff, but that's pretty crazy.
We've got work to do, and we'll be hanging around though. We're going to make the most of it. You know, as you were saying, it's our first time at Lolla, so we're going to kind of soak up the whole experience.
And then back in Nashville, but this time it's playing in Nashville. What is Nashville kind of shown the band?
Is Broadway?
Lower Broadway.
Yeah,
where all the honky tonks.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. Walking down the whole strip, and there's bands in every single window. That was
those bands start.
See that again.
those bands start at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
at full blast volume.
Yeah.
I love it.
And if you sit outside one of those honky tonks starting at 10, you'll see generations of people come in and go
Yeah.
out. It's like, oh, this is the 75 plus crowd. They'll be here until noon 30.
Yeah.
And we'll get a younger group and a younger group. But when you're there next time, which is only a few weeks away, you're playing Brooklyn Bowl, which is a beautiful venue.
Mm.
You have to go to, if you're in Lower Broadway, go to the Broadway Brew House.
Oh, yeah.
One, it's the cheapest place in Nashville. Two, it's happy hour from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. And then you can smoke in the bar, which is not something that I think I need to do, but it just seems like I'm a little bit of a badass because
it's
I'm
a
around
novelty.
these-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can, you go, why not?
Yeah, why not? This is going to be a lot easier on my soul. And then, of course, you got to go see some of the greatest musicians that are playing cover tunes
Yeah.
in honky
What's it
tonks.
called again? Sorry.
Well, so the Broadway Brew House doesn't have
Yeah.
bands, so you actually get a minute
Oh, okay.
away from the bands, but the
Yeah.
good food and you get
And you can just,
1,000 beers.
Cool.
yeah.
Well, just on an average.
That sounds good.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because you're going to have just only a few moments. You're probably only going to be in Nashville for 8 hours, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
max
Haven't
12,
even
24
looked at
hours.
the,
But
schedule yet, but
we don't normally get too long in any city. It's maximum 24 hours before we have to move on to the next spot. So it's go, and you got a show in there and sound check and all the rest of it.
But it's not a vacation, which everyone on the outside who sees you as a band, they believe it is a vacation. Oh, how nice.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, like we
Yeah.
started this off with, where are we today? We don't know. Only because
pretty much.
It's only because we had to use a passport the other day that we know we're in such country.
Yeah.
Where is it that you find that was one of the first places outside of Australia that adopted to Ocean Alley? What country do you think
It's
was the one that was like, you got to come here?
is the closest country to
Yeah,
us, New Zealand.
That
was
doesn't
our-
count. I say that.
Yeah.
There's almost a bridge there.
Yeah. Yeah. The first international sort of area that we did travel to except New Zealand was Europe.
Mm.
And I wouldn't say that they took to our sound. We had a lot of people covering their ears and
Yeah. Depends which part we went to. I feel like I think that our first show was in Amsterdam and that was great. It's like 200 people or something.
That sounds like it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
Everyone's there for a positive vibe. Everyone's
Yeah,
there
yeah,
for
yeah.
a chill. And that's what Ocean Alley is, right?
Yeah, of
But
course.
then it just went downhill.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very
No.
jarring first international tour experience. But as I was saying before, we've done everything DIY. Our manager at the time, who's our manager now, but back then he was working at like a bar or like an RSL club, they call them at home. And we were calling him trying to sort of get some more info on how to get home. We were stuck at the airport. We had no money. And he was like, oh, can I call you after my shift finishes? You know, like I finish in 6 hours. We're like, we need you right now, man. But like we're on the other side of the world. We had no idea what we were doing. We were just like, we'd spent all of our money in the first week or so just having way too much fun. And fuck, it's all a learning experience. It's been so fun. But yeah, Europe was definitely sort of the first place we went and tested the waters.
Yeah.
It's failure that makes you learn, right? You know, it's doing it right. You kind of can sometimes catch it by, it's just a luck. Yeah, we did well. We failed. We will never do that again.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
never want to start a 2-week tour with only 1 week worth of money to cover it.
Yeah.
Or a 6-week tour with 2 weeks worth of money that we spend in 1 week.
And there was no band money then. It was just whatever we had each.
Right, from that part-time job or
Yeah,
that full-time
Exactly
job.
right. Yeah, we went over there kind of like we were just a bunch of mates on holidays, and
Mm.
everyone was like, "Oh, is anyone?"
I burnt through my money in a week in
Yeah.
Amsterdam, I think, and then I was sort of scratching.
We had to get one of the boys' parents to send us some money to get home, and yeah, it was. We learned a lesson.
And then you
there.
got to explain that to the families. The next time you say, we're going on tour again.
Yeah,
And the family's like, we'll get out the checkbooks.
Yeah. Oh, mom and dad, we want to be in a band. They're like, well, cool,
Have
but
you
you
played
need a
enough
job.
shows to make enough money to go there?
Yeah.
Was there some pushback from families saying, really?
No, I don't think so. We've got really, all of us have got really supportive parents, and they've always kind of backed whatever we do. But I think there's always that weird like underlying feeling of like telling your parents that you're going to be in a touring band, that they're like, really? Like, you reckon you're good enough for that? Or who do you think you are?
Yeah.
There's probably a small window in time where you can pull that with your parents. If you're 33, still living at home and saying, by the way, putting a band together, your parents better say to you something like, no, you're not.
Oh, they absolutely would.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we were definitely young and dumb enough to be, making these kinds of mistakes. Yeah. And lucky we did make them then, because, I feel like they have shaped how we tour and how we sort of operate as a band and a group. And we needed all of those experiences to kind of make it as professional as it is now. Because man, we did all the stuff, all this dumb stuff,
Dumb stuff.
But
makes the band go round.
Like just ruined gigs and missed flights and blew my voice out and just the whole thing. The lot. And so now it's like kind of, we look back, we're like, oh, cool, glad we got that out of our way when no one was there watching the shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Baden, Tom, thanks for doing this. Ocean Alley, new album coming out this fall. Love Balloon. Congratulations. Look forward to seeing you guys on the stage.
Thanks you.
Thanks for having us.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shed of dreams.